I'm fed up with this game, can we play something else? And I was like, excuse you, ha 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 ha. And they all do the same, and you're like in some kind of a literal cult. And I'm like, this is not gonna be good. Adobe just doesn't seem to like the wallpaper engine so much. So this thing was supposed to provide us with a very nice moving wallpaper while I'm talking, but well, not today it seems like. So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I'm still in this new place, still kind of figuring out how do I put it together, how do I do it together, and well, that's kind of the best that I could do. What I wanted to talk about today is kind of not a touchy topic, I would say, but still a very important one, you know what? And because that's a part of my life, and I think that's also very interesting to me, for me to find out all those different things that I never knew anything about. So now, today, we're going to talk about that. But before we go on, I just want you to look at my new setup over here. This is basically how it looks like. So this is my new office, this is my new table. These are some motivational goals, which we will touch upon maybe a little bit later. All this stuff that, you know, helps me going, helps me with my regular day-to-day tasks, because I'm still kind of getting used to this new routine that I have, which is really fun, I gotta say, because, like, you know, being fine and finally not struggling that much with everything is kind of feels nice. So, well, the first thing the teaching taught me, kids are exactly who their parents made them to be. Like little kids, I'm talking only little kids for now. The kids that were behaving bad, or, you know, like not doing everything like correctly, and like there were many different kids that did it for different reasons, but basically the kids that have some problems in their families, whose parents are not really, you know, giving them much attention, or the opposite, giving them too much attention, they get either spoiled, either not, you know, not cared for enough, and that's why they are what they are. All those tantrums that they throw, like all those words that they say, is very much connected to what's going on with their parents. There were a couple of cases when I contacted, you know, talked with the parents of the kids that I had some, you know, misunderstandings with. After I talked with their parents, I kind of realized that, oh, that is the problem. Not only talking with them, like seeing their attitude, especially with young, very little kids, you know, when all they want is just your constant attention. The major thing that they want is love from their parents, from the closest people from them. And when they don't get it, it's just a huge, major problem. And when I see it, my heart breaks every time. I had problem with one or two of my students, and they were constantly like not following my orders. They were constantly like against me by all means, like just ruining the mood of the class, like making other students feel uncomfortable and stuff. And I was like really mad at them, like not just, you know, screaming at them or hurting them in any way or something, just in my mind I was really mad at them. I thought like, well, why are you guys so bad? Like, why? I just cannot understand. Like, we usually get mad at something that we either understand and we have met this before and we, like, you know, processed that we don't like it, either we get mad about something that we don't understand at all. So usually that happens, usually that is the case because we don't understand the full situation. In bringing the kid up, there are a lot of things that need to be, you know, done well and put together well, which is of course not the kind of thing that any person can do, because raising kid is hard as hell, you know, just like it's a whole new level of understanding, like psychology, the you know, the responsibility that you have on yourself, but still. And when one or two or more of those things go wrong, you end up with a kid with bad manners, with bad behavior that does wrong and does hurt the others and does hurt themselves, which is very important. First of all, themselves, not only others. When I realized that the problem is very, very deep inside, I started, sympathizing with those kids, and I started understanding them on the deeper level. Every time I discovered that for myself, I would stop, I would think for a second, I would be like, what can go wrong? And when in my head I discovered the answer for that, I would feel better for those kids. You know what? I've become friends with a little kid that I teach. When I discovered he was behaving bad, he was throwing tantrums every once in a while. Then I discovered why he does that, and explained to myself why he does that, and then we become friends. And then I think he saw my good attitude towards him. He would be smiling at me, he would be good to me. You know what, he wouldn't scream and run around anymore. He would be accepting of this new routine. So that is something that I kind of liked really, really much. Another thing I discovered, the kids get bored really fast. You know what, you do some activity, let's say for learning some grammar, and you have the game for that, so it would be easy to understand and it would be fun and stuff. And you kind of get used to this game, you kind of play it once, twice, 3 times. I would keep playing that, I would keep playing it once, twice, 3 times every week, every day, every year, any time. But when you do it with the kids, on your lessons, because it's comfortable for me, I discovered this game, okay, I think that this is a very good game. It happens in this kind of way that when you introduce the new game for your kids, they like it at first. They maybe don't understand it at first, but then the second time they like it because, if it's a good game, they do like it. The third time they like it even more because now they know how to play it. The fourth time is when it starts to go down, because the fourth time is when they're like, let's do something else. Once I remember exactly, specifically, the little kid, I assume 4 years old or something, he came to me, because we're not allowed to speak Russian in class, we are allowed to speak only English in class. So he came to me and whispered to my ear about the game. We've been playing third time maybe. He whispered to my ear, I'm fed up with this game, can we play something else? And I was like, excuse you, how come? This is just, we've been playing this such a cool game, for remembering words and stuff. That's something that I'm trying still to cope with, and that's why we have a lot of, new games in our school. I think that would help to, widen this opportunity to play a game during the lesson. This thing is just something that I came to realize, and I felt like I'm missing out of something after I realized that. Next thing I've discovered is that the kids, especially little kids, take up your mood. Whatever mood you're in, they actually put it on themselves, and they start behaving the same as you, the same way as you do. And this one I found specifically funny and cute, very cute, with little kids, because little kids, they're little, they don't know much about the world that we live in. They try to take up those roles that the adults play on themselves. They don't know what it means, but they just try to copy everyone they see. I used to see kids 4, 5 years old, just remember that, put that in your head right now, that will behave exactly like the adults will do in their gestures, in their their walk, their talk, everything they do. For example, they walk, they behave all yeah, I see everything that's going on, and that's so funny, that's just hilarious. Whenever we do the lesson, and whenever we teach them some grammar, for example, there is this practice for learning new grammar for little kids, is that when you need to do some activity and you need to say whatever you're doing. My favorite one is waking up somebody. So you take the toy and you basically try to do different multiple activities with it so it would wake up later on. So for example, it's a bunny. So like you say, do you want to wiggle his tail? Do you want to tickle his tummy? Do you want to rub his back? Do you want to pat his head and stuff like that? So they remember what they are doing and they still say what they are doing and they do it, so they remember that. You use your gestures so much and they use it as well and they copy whatever you do, and this is so funny. You don't even have to explain to them, okay, now repeat after me, do whatever I say. They just start doing that. You know what? In the group of little kids, when you're the only one that's adult in there, and you say it like this, okay, who is sleeping? Are you sleeping? No, I'm not sleeping. And all this stuff like that. And they all do the same. And you're like in some kind of a little cult with little kids that do everything that you do. And like at some point you just realize your, powers and responsibilities for that. So another thing that I think I've learned from being a teacher is that kids only respect the authority, and they just, whatever they do, whatever the circumstance is, they will only respect you if you are an authority to them. This is very hard to, build up this authority of yours. And I am myself, when I just started working as a teacher, I used to be so soft. I used to not be able to raise my voice, to do anything else, to just, say stop. I was not able to. I would say, please, can you stop? Can you not do that? No. Please, stop, please. I don't want you to do that. And I would just beg them to stop doing that. Growing this authority inside of yourself is very, very important whenever you're a teacher. Whatever group you're dealing with, you need this authority. You need to have this moment of silence. You need to have this moment of saying, no, stop, this is inappropriate. I want you to stop doing that right now or get out. Like, this needs to be done. Because if you don't do that, the kids will just go all like, I think that's the hardest part for me of being a teacher for now, is to get kids disciplined, to get the kids just doing whatever you want them to do during the lesson, because you want them to learn English and you want them to get the best of this lesson. But whenever they are not doing whatever you ask them to do, whenever they're digressing, whenever they mess with someone else instead of listening to me or writing down the rules, they are missing something on this lesson, on this important lesson, which can be very, very important, which can be, damaging to their knowledge. This is so important to make them stop whenever they do something inappropriate. And I, till this day, struggle with that. Actually, I have had a couple of lessons which I was really proud of, because I made my lessons energetic, I made them go fast, and I made this entire lesson circle around me, so I controlled everything and I felt this control of me and I felt this authority that I get. I, successfully put, things to stop which needed to be stopped. It comes and goes. Sometimes I'm very, very tired and kids don't listen to me and I'm like, guys, can you stop? And they still don't listen to me and I'm like, this is not gonna be good. And yet another thing that I learned about being a teacher is that learning is not that horrible. I used to think that learning, it's always books, it's always doing homework, it's always doing all this stuff, and it's so boring and it's so time consuming and I better go and play games and stuff. Learning can be fun. Learning actually can be so useful. This atmosphere that you build around learning, these ways of learning, including games, including fun stuff, including speaking activities, including friendships that are built in those schools, this all goes hand in hand with good practices, good mood, good atmosphere. And the other day I remember that my students, we had this lesson and I had some extra time, and I decided, well, why not? Let's just try to play this new game, like, that I made up in my head about, like, thinking about objects and, like, you know, describing them and maybe, like, guessing them. And I tried this game, and I saw how kids liked it so much. They were so happy about that. They use the words, they use the grammar, and they basically they practice English during the lesson. This is what makes me happy about, you know, being a teacher, is that when the kids enjoy their lessons. And obviously I get a lot to learn. In no way I'm saying that I'm a teacher, I'm mastered all the techniques, I'm so good. No. I'm still a learning teacher. I'm still a beginner at that. I am still on my way, on my path of learning how to put my knowledge of English into the minds of the kids. In 2020, I've made myself a lot of goals, a lot of things, a lot of motivating stuff for keeping me going, because you know what, it's just very hard to do all the different stuff that you like, that you do. Whenever you exit your home at 10 a.m. and then you enter your home at 10 p.m. and you have 3 hours of plans ahead of you to do so. But still, I've made some goals for myself, which you can see on this wall. What we see here is, first of all, my video editing goals, which are about, you know, video editing. So I need to make every video like every month in this year, so it's 12 videos total. But I will try my best to throw in some, you know, another video every once in a while, and I will try my best to make it entertaining as possible, so just stay tuned for that. Also, we have the plans for the new year. They are, you know, well, the goals that I need to do with the new year, and one of them is learning French language, which is so nice. I just want to learn French language so bad because I've been watching Scum France very passionately. Yeah, I decided that I want to learn French as much as I want to watch Scum France. So we'll see about that, because I've heard that this is kind of a complicated language, but still. Also, I have a goal of doing my own English work, learning English for my level, you know, collocations, grammar, vocabulary, phrasal verbs, and so on and so forth. And doing some tasks related to that, also reading some English books, and, you know, basically doing all that stuff every Friday of the month, which means at least 5 times in a month I do my own personal English work. I find really useful for myself as a English teacher, as an English learner, and so on and so forth. And also the one thing that I have here is no bleach. It's related to my hair, because in 2020 I'm planning not to bleach my hair anymore, which doesn't mean I can't color them, but I will color only the bleached part of my hair, obviously. So I will let them grow as long as they can, and then I will probably either color the rest part, my natural color, either I will cut them, because I'm kind of, you know, done with the bleach. I'm kind of done with the blonde, and I feel like this time around, not like last time, I had it like, you know, almost a couple of inches long, and then I just, you know, bleached them again, and it was so damaged again. So now I just want them to be really long, as long as possible. I want to grow my roots as long as possible, and then I am planning to, you know, changing the colors within this range that I have. No more bleach, no more damage to them. So, well, I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked it and enjoyed it, and if you have any ideas, any thoughts, any stuff that you want to share with me, feel free to leave your ideas in the comments down below. Feel free to leave your commentary down below. Thank you so much for putting up with me. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like this new hairstyle that I have, and my makeup and everything like that. And this is the second time I filmed this video, so please record, dear Lord. That's the only thing that I ask. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you next time. Bye.